JOJO'S Bizarre Adventure, an anime/manga written by Hirohiko Araki, also known as the GOAT, is about the Joestar bloodline and all the random bullshit they go through. For those who have never seen the anime or read the manga, the main power system in JOJO's is called stands. There's also something called Hamon, but that shit is irrelevant and useless in the current story, so it's really unimportant. A stand is a quote-unquote visual manifestation of life energy, or as it says in the wiki, the manifestation of the soul of the user. I'd just describe it as ghost powers, I guess. Now, in the beginning, when stands were first introduced back in part 3, stands were hella simple. It really came down to which one could knock the other one the f out first. But as time passed and more parts came along, it turned into 4D chess, and whose ultra-specific ability cancels out whose ultra-specific ability. But that's not why I'm making this video. Subway Surfers. That one game you see at the bottom of Family Guy TikToks. Yes, you sorry-ass dopamine fiend Chuck.
Steven here.
The gameplay is basically just a classic endless scroller where you collect coins and try to get a high score to boost dopamine. And trying not to die on the train tracks while Super Nigga chases you down like you his bitch or son. Now some of you are gonna ask, what do these two IPs have in common? Nothing at all would be the answer. But Nisho, aka Hidden Gem, aka King Christ, aka Underground Flock 70, aka Autistic and Still Get Hus, have super potent autism and tardation. So I was sitting there thinking, what would it look like if power-ups from Subway Surfers were stands in JOJO'S Bizarre Adventure? I know. Save your applause for the end of the video. Either way, let's get into the meat of the video and discuss the stand that I and my trusty assistant ChatGPT were able to come up with. Spike Montclair. Paris doesn't sleep. It moves. Steel screaming down rails. Sirens bouncing off concrete. Footsteps racing where streets don't reach. Spike Montclair learned early that the city only respects one thing: momentum. He grew up running freight lines and rooftops in the industrial sprawl, where stopping meant getting cornered and looking back meant falling behind. The police called it trespassing. The city called it survival. And Spike called it freedom. He ran with his little brother always closed behind. Same jumps, same shortcuts, same rule: don't slow down, ever. The night everything changed. The city tested him. A security sweep cut through the rail yard mid-run. Floodlights snapped on. Sirens tore the air apart. A train barreled down the line, faster than it should have been moving. Spike didn't think. He ran. They reached a broken overpass. Concrete cracked. Rails exposed. Nothing but open air past the edge. No safe landing. No second chance. No time to look back. For the first time in his life, Spike didn't know if the jump was possible, but stopping felt worse. So he committed. The instant his foot left the ground, the world hesitated with him. For a fraction of a second, gravity stopped enforcing its rules. Not broken, ignored. Spike felt something beneath his soul where nothing should exist, like stepping on intent itself. He landed hard, alive, bleeding. And when he looked back, his brother was still running. That was the birth of his stand. Jump out the house. It doesn't appear with fists or a face. It wraps around his legs. Spectral springs. Fractured symbols. After images snapping into place only at the moment of takeoff. Blink and you miss it. Hesitate and it never appears at all. Jump out the house converts speed and resolve into a single violation of reality. Only at the jump. Only if Spike is moving forward. Only if he believes. Air becomes a step. Walls become launch points. Enemies become platforms. Even projectiles can be used. Once, the moment he's airborne, physics returns. No mercy, no correction. Miss the timing, and the fall is final. Spike acts fearless. Punk grin. Loud mouth. Never backs down. But he runs because stopping means remembering. A misjudged jump. A friend who didn't land. A moment of hesitation that still echoes in his chest. That guilt fuels his speed, and threatens to destroy it, because jump out the house doesn't care about strength. It cares about commitment. Doubt kills it instantly. In battle, Spike is unstoppable until someone forces him to slow down. A trap, a grab, a split-second choice. Because the cruel truth of his stand is simple. The world bends for Spike Montclair only while he keeps moving. And one day, he's going to have to decide whether running forward forever is freedom or just another kind of fall. Requiem upgrade. Jump out the house. Requiem. Core evolution and what changes. Original rule. You must commit to the jump. Requiem rule. The world commits when you do. Requiem ability. Momentum Dominion. Jump out the house. Requiem no longer just ignores gravity for Spike. It forces reality to obey the direction of his commitment. What it does. When Spike moves forward with absolute resolve, all vectors in his immediate path are rewritten to favor forward motion. Gravity, inertia, friction, and trajectory bend to complete the action he committed to. The stand doesn't remove physics. It reinterprets them. How it manifests. The spectral springs and glyphs expand outward. The air in front of Spike fractures like glass. Arrows, lines, and manga motion symbols flood the space ahead of him. The environment visually leans forward, as if dragged by his intent. New Requiem rules. A Spike must still commit fully. Hesitation is still lethal, but once he commits, missed jumps self-correct. Falling becomes forward propulsion. Obstacles are forcibly turned into platforms. Enemies caught in his path are dragged into his momentum. Unable to stop or resist without equal resolve, Spike cannot change direction mid-action. Undo a commitment. Stop once he's started. If he commits to a fatal path, Requiem will complete it anyway. There is no turning back. Once Spike commits to an action, the world removes the concept of retreat. Opponents can't dodge backward. Platforms collapse after he uses them. Time feels like it's rushing forward, dragging everyone with it. This isn't a power fantasy, it's judgment. Visual difference. Requiem formats. Gold fracture lines in the air. Arrows pointing forward embedded in reality. A faint echo of Spike's future positions overlapping the present. Still no humanoid stand. Just lore being rewritten. How Araki would use this against Spike. Requiem's weakness is psychological. If Spike commits while wrong, he can't escape. An enemy who manipulates him into choosing the wrong path wins instantly. Requiem punishes impulsiveness harder than hesitation ever did. Jump out the house. Requiem doesn't let Spike defy fate. It forces him to live with the direction he chose. Okay bruh, that's the end. Let me know if y'all this idea. If not, I don't give a mayo. I'ma still make a part 2 and beyond. If you did like this autism spasm of a video, hit the like button and subscribe if you're a sub 5 chud like your boy. Be sure, put in the comment section what power up should be featured in the next video, and what Subway Surfers character I should give aura to next. Alright, deuce.